Greetings everyone, and welcome. Today I'm not actually playing League of Legends. Well, I did, but this is a pre-recorded video, or a game rather. The reason I did it this way is because I was bored, and since English isn't my first language, you wouldn't really be able to understand what we are saying. Tragedy is what this is, but it's fine. So, right now, I would like to use this game to explain Samira to people, because I see everyone int on her for no reason at all, when she's rather easy to play, honestly. I learned everything that I know about Samira from Unsung, and the no double exhaust isn't a part of anything. We just accidentally took double exhaust. However, I do have a really good support, in this case, the Talia. Amazing player. But yes, this is going to be a masterclass of playing Samira. Now, we didn't have too good of a jungler, and therefore getting ganks from him wasn't a big priority for us. So instead, the way we did it is we just waited for them to make a mistake. Now, with Samira, the best thing you can do is wait for an opportunity. You can't just go in. Even though you are good at going in, you just shouldn't. You shouldn't do it every time. It's gonna get you killed most of the times you do it. In this case, our target was the squishiest of the enemy bot lane, the Senna. Now, it wasn't really hard to kill her. That's why I already have one kill. And I only started to record this 5 minutes into the game. So it wasn't even that late, but we killed her really early on. However, while this game doesn't get too difficult, difficult at all, there are a few things that are really good to notice here. For example, this is something supports can learn as well. The ADC backed, and therefore the support had a roam timer. Mine, at least. Now they decide to stay longer. Actually, I don't know if that happens yet. Yeah, I think they are going to decide to stay for like half a millennia. It works out, because the reason they stay is a really good play that they see up top. Of course, I can't really show it to you, because I wasn't paying attention to that while 2v1ing the enemy bot lane. However, it's not a bad thing for you to leave as a support if there is a good play coming up. Right now he left for Rift Herald and the play that's happening up top. Of course, if you just leave your ADC alone, they're probably going to be mad. But if a Samira, one of the shortest ranged ADCs, can play safe against Draven Senna, I think you're all gonna be fine. Now, of course, if the Bavaf came down here, I would probably just get nuked and explode. However, that doesn't happen, because the Bavaf is topside, and probably did die there, or at least got close to it. What I'm doing here is risky. There's no real point in moving up this fast, this far rather. However, I'm not scared of them, so I'm trying to poke down the Senna in order to try and double kill them. It doesn't work out, but it doesn't exactly matter. Here, I freeze the wave. That's what I should have done, maybe. But I probably don't do it, because my support is on her way. So it's fine. But you can always do that. Freezing the wave is always a good idea when you are alone on bot lane, because you don't want them to constantly keep crashing it. However, it can still be dangerous for you to just freeze the wave, of course, because there's a chance they just find you and kill you immediately if you're in a bad position. Right now I'm looking for the solo kill on the Draven. I should have probably W'd that. It's a good idea to try and W Draven's E, I think. It's Z. Yeah, it's a Z. My support decides to AFK a little. it still works out because they are looking really threatening. And so the Senna gets scared. Now, right about now, I think the worst thing comes to pass. Did the Kale just steal a Rift Throat from the... Never mind. Let's focus on the ADC gameplay. I believe right about now we are going to get ganked. Yes, of course. The way I play this, or the way you should, is you wait for her to dash towards you, or press her W. If she presses W, you need to dodge that, and then E. But if they dash towards you once, you can immediately E. You will E past them, and then flash, and you'll be safe. That's what I did here, and I lived it just fine. Now the items I'm going. Collector first, still don't think it's too good of an idea. I buy it here because they are all squishy. The BAVF is squishy for now, let's just say that. And therefore I don't think it's that bad of an item to buy. But usually I will be going Gale Force, which I think is the best Samira item currently. I don't really have a lot to talk about here. It's just standard laning stuff. One thing I'm doing even right now is, as you can see, I'm paying attention to the Drake. And I want to move there. Now I want this Drake especially because we are stronger than the enemy team. We are much stronger. So even if the Master Yi barely does anything, we can still beat them. And as you can see, it does indeed happen. They had a rather strong Qiyana. Or well, not too weak Qiyana. And yet, not even that matters. So what you can see I did there was I tried to focus the lowest health target in the enemy team. Or otherwise known as the dumb one that decides to go into your face. In this case that was the BAVF who missed her W completely. I focused on dodging it first, so that's a good idea. And then I went on to the Senna. Of course I could have also dashed to the Draven, which would have probably been a better decision. But at the time I didn't really see anything else except blood. So I didn't really care. Now I go home, buy collector first item, and until then we can watch our mid laner. This guy is a Ziggs legend, I think, because he decided that he's going to take second turret at 13 minutes and he just did it. I can't be mad. I couldn't be mad, he was so good. He played this game really well. Right now you can see I'm getting 1v1 by the shop. Don't do that. If you are going to play Samira with Gale Force, which I would recommend because I do think it's the best item for her, as right now it may not be the best item for long, but right now it is. You should always make a little tab for yourself in the custom tab where you have Gale Force. Mainly because if you search for it like I did and it takes 17 years, you waste so much time. There you saw the Master Yi got killed because he wasn't paying attention to his minimap. Of course the Kale would walk into that bush if it wasn't warded, and then 3 people started to go towards him and he still didn't move. So it's a good idea to at least look ahead, to pay attention. Here I'm going to W the Qiyana ulti. The way I do that, how I try to W the most important ability of the enemy team, is usually there's a reason champions use their abilities, right? For Qiyana, she wants to use her ult either to damage you or to save herself, to knock you away a little. But mainly, if you're on top of her, they're always going to press it to try and just one-shot burst you. So with Samira, once you jump onto a Qiyana, it's a safe bet to try and press your W. Or maybe wait for a second and then press your W. but it's still fine. One of the biggest things with Samira, anyway, is you just need to W something. It's almost like Riven's E. You have to W something. It's not really an option. You either W for your ultimate, or you W an ability. It is quite fascinating. As you can see, my entire team is winning, and then the Master is 1-5. This is bound to happen. If you're in low elo, someone's gonna int. Almost every game, it just happens. Here, my amazing support decides he's going to split push, and for once in my entire league career, the support doesn't die in the split pushing. I mean, they do, but not in the split pushing. They die from 2 flashes and an ultimate, which is very dumb. If you were the enemy team here, you shouldn't spend that many resources on the support, because you have much bigger problems than the Talia. For example, you have a Samira who is giga fed. Now, I try to look for the kills here. I'm not scared of them. I'm ahead, and looking at them, they are behind, even against their own laners, so why would I be scared? Now, I'm not playing this game particularly smart. If I were, I would be on bot lane right now, or just completely farming a lane, and then moving to mid anytime I need to. Or I would just constantly be mid with my support. However, here, Dragon is good enough. Like, by good enough. It's the best play. We take it. The Ziggs does an amazing job of keeping them mid, keeping them interested. Now, there's an important lesson here. Right now, my team doesn't go in, luckily. But if they were to go in, it would have been bad, because I'm not there yet. I'm not in range. I would have had to flash. Luckily, they don't do the dump play, so we are all fine. And nor was my support, but one of us is enough. The main thing here is we win in poke. Therefore, we shouldn't want to immediately engage. But if we engage, we want it to be great. Like, we want the Renekton to go first, and then I go in. Of course, we are a lot stronger, so we do want this fight. That's why all of us are posturing really aggressively. This game was... It was like a silver bronze game, by the way. It's very telling. Also, I tried to W the Quiana ultimate. You can't. Not the part that comes out after she presses the first thing. Now I know. It was a learning experience. Oh. And this is the big fight. Right now I saw opportunities to go in, and I immediately took them. With Samira, it's really bad to hesitate. It's a horrible thing. You always try to be proactive. Try to be aggressive. Choose if you are going to fight or not. If you're not going to fight, leave. If you're going to fight, then stay in. You don't have to dash in with your E. You can just auto Q at the outskirts. Here, of course, I dashed in because I wanted to immediately burst down the Kayle after knowing she used her ultimate on the BLF, which worked. And therefore, we won the fight pretty easily. Now, me and my support also had the same idea of flashing for the Quiana kill. And that's just cool. It's the bot lane synergy that you want to see. Now what's happening here is rather interesting. My jungler isn't doing the right thing. Like, being top lane right now isn't a good idea. By the way, what I do here is rather simple. I'm just confident. I know my champion well enough to understand that they can't beat me. Kayle doesn't have ult, we've seen that. And Draven didn't have E. Therefore, I could just face roll them. Ooga booga. Caveman mode. I E'd in, pressed Q, pressed W, which probably blocked the Draven's actual E. And I didn't even need to use exhaust. Gale Force was enough to give me that extra little bit of a push to kill him. It's important to know how to 2v1 with Samira, because a lot of the times your support will want to leave. And if you have 5 kills, if you have 3 kills on Samira and you're on par with farm, you should be strong enough to double kill the bot lane. It's a matter of skill at that point. I didn't manage to showcase that in this game, mainly because the only chance I really had, I messed up. But again, even that was fine, since I decided that I'm not gonna go in, and therefore I didn't do the dump play and died for it. We have a very calm game on our hands at this point. Right now me and the support are having a great discussion about who has more items. And I tell them the Shard of True Eyes isn't a real item. It doesn't matter for the game, or for the Samira Masterclass, but I still consider it funny. Right now what we are doing is waiting for Dragon. We don't really have anything to take. I mean, maybe the bad ref kill, but it's so easy that even a Master E can take her. Right now I look at this side angle and I decide to take it. Again, I W the Qiyana ultimate, I look for the animation. But here I looked for the animation. Usually I just press W to trigger my ultimate. Here I actually waited for the Qiyana to ult and watched the animation of her ultimate. There is another way you can stop Qiyana ultimate. The animation is first and then the ultimate projectile comes out. However, that can be difficult to do sometimes. And with that, this game is pretty much over. It was a 25-minute game and there's nothing more to discuss. Thank you all for watching and expect more of this style content, because it's easier to make when I'm dueled. Bye!